If you're drawn to the nitty-gritty reality of true crime, you've come to the right place. Boundary County, Idaho Crime Dive is your daily dose of investigative reporting, exploring the most shocking, compelling, and disturbing cases from Boundary County, Idaho. Grab the popcorn, pull up a chair, and join us as we unpack the facts, delve into the motives, and explore the lasting impact of these crimes and the people behind them. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Since most of you were unhappy with my voice, I decided, what the heck? Is this better? Let me know in the comments. Now on with today's episode. Looking at Rachel Jeffs Blackmore's beautifully curated Instagram page, which features snapshots of her family and her life in the snowy mountains of Idaho, you'd be hard-pressed to assume that she was anything other than a busy mom and farmer. But scroll a little longer, and clues about Jeffs Blackmore's past. As a former member of the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or FLDS, an ultra-conservative offshoot of Mormonism, begin to appear. As most of you know, we weren't allowed to celebrate Christmas when I was a kid. She wrote in the caption of a post showing her holding her young son in front of a Christmas tree on December 18th. After revealing that her father once destroyed a Christmas book she and her siblings had enjoyed reading as children, Jeffs Blackmore, who's currently in the process of legally removing Jeffs from her name, expresses gratitude that her children aren't raised to feel guilty about enjoying Christmas. In another post from October celebrating her daughter's engagement and pregnancy, Jeffs Blackmore wrote in the caption, "As a young teen and into adulthood, I so wanted to allow myself to feel those feelings that I was constantly told to crush. I wanted to talk to that boy that kept looking at me. I wanted to choose the guy of my dreams. Instead, I had a placement marriage," she concluded. Jeffs Blackmore's story is unique. She's not only a former FLDS member, she's also the daughter of Warren Jeffs, the church leader who was imprisoned on child sexual assault charges in 2011 after a nationwide manhunt. The Mormon Church officially decried polygamy, or the practice of having multiple spouses, in the late 1800s, and the FLDS branch was subsequently founded as an offshoot. FLDS members continue to practice polygamy to this day, though some former members, including Jeffs Blackmore, have described the FLDS as a cult. Warren Jeffs' father, Rulon, was the leader of the church up until his death in 2002, which is when Jeffs took over as the prophet. Dispensing what he termed revelations to his followers, former FLDS members have described Jeffs' word as being law, and have noted that he would frequently expel male members from the church whom he deemed a threat to him or his leadership. Jeffs also appointed himself responsible for organizing the marriages of young, often underage FLDS women. He had nearly 80 wives as of 2011, and dozens of them were younger than 17, according to a report from the Washington Post. However, when a member was convicted of bigamy in 2003, Jeffs left the community and began traveling extensively, ostensibly to avoid authorities. In 2005, Jeffs was indicted in Arizona for fleeing prosecution and arranging a marriage between a 16-year-old girl and an already married man. He subsequently entered a not guilty plea. The church leader was also charged in Utah for being an accomplice to a rape, but the charges were later dropped. After being on the FBI's most wanted list for several months, Jeffs was finally arrested near Las Vegas in 2006. He was subsequently indicted by a grand jury in Texas, where another FLDS ranch was located on bigamy and sexual assault charges, and was sentenced in 2011. Though Jeffs insisted repeatedly that the charges against him were an attack on his religion and his community, he was found guilty of 2 counts of child sexual abuse related to underage marriages in the FLDS in Texas. Authorities have said they have evidence Jeff still regularly shares revelations with FLDS members and maintains control over the sect while serving a life sentence in prison. The leader's cruelty apparently extended to his own family members as well. In her memoir and during interviews for A&E Network's Secrets of Polygamy, Jeff's Blackmore details how her father sexually abused her and several of her siblings, and punished her harshly even as an adult woman. After she was repeatedly separated from her family, including her children, as punishment for perceived misdeeds, Jeff's Blackmore escaped the FLDS in 2014 after her father was behind bars. Jeff's Blackmore left with her 5 children from her first marriage, which was arranged without her consent and included several other wives. She's now married to Brandon Blackmore, who also left the FLDS, and together they have 2 more kids. That is the end of this episode for today. In the next episode, we will go over more about Brandon Blackmore and how he is involved with the Boundary County Police Department and how that all ties into the Mormon sect. Please like and subscribe and share these videos. The people have a right to know. See y'all in the next video.